ever stopped to think what would happen if you or a loved one were in a traumatic car accident and needed an organ, or suffered from a disease that required organ transplant for survival? Maybe you or you know someone who has been in this situation. Each day, on average, of 79 people receive organ transplants. However, an average of 18 people die each day waiting for transplants that can't take place because of the shortage on the waiting list. According to organdonor.gov 2014. But from January 2010 through October 2010, there were only 12,000 transplant donors. That's only approximately 11% of the people on the waiting list for an organ transplant that will actually receive them. Xenotransplantation is the hope for families that would have not gotten a life-saving organ without it. Today I will briefly explain what xenotransplantation is and a bit of its history, and then I will tell you some of its benefits. And to conclude, I will share with you the bright future of xenotransplantation and how you can help with the organ transplant cause. Xenotransplantation, or XT, as it is sometimes referred to as, is something we must support and invest in. If you or a loved one are ever in a life-threatening situation and need an organ, you either go on a long waiting list or we invest our resources in XT, and as young adults, you can prepare for the future. You're probably wondering, what is XT? Xenotransplantation is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as transplantation of organ, tissue, or cell between two different species, most commonly between human and domestic swine. Xenotransplantation opens a whole new world of opportunities, which were never available before. Since 2004, over 200 people have accepted transplants from animals to replace or assist their failing organs, according to an article from scienceeducation.gov in 2009. This didn't happen overnight, and doctors have been experimenting with XT for years. The journey to a successful xenotransplantation has been difficult and not yet complete. At first, the organ transplant from animal to human has worked only for a short period of time. Human immune systems swiftly drive out foreign tissue, but this did not discourage doctors from continuing the fight to discover a way to stop transplant rejection. According to a timeline that appears in the BBC News Online Network SciTech article, The History of Xenotransplantation, 1999, it states, in 1682, the skull of an injured Russian man was replaced with the skull of a dog, and then in 1964, the Mississippi Medical Center makes an attempt at the first cardiac XT using a chimpanzee's heart. And more recently, in 1995, Jeff Getty received some bone marrow from a baboon. I just recently learned that our own Barbara Walters, from The View, on May 7, 2014, she stated that she has a heart valve from a pig. Now that I have shared a little history and explained to you what XT is, let me continue on to tell you the benefits of XT. According to the TransplantLiving.org 2014, not only are there hardly enough people on the transplant donors list to begin with, not all donors die in the way that their organs can be used for transplant. According to an article on the Philosophy Now website article titled XT by Olaide Olakami and Laura Purdy 2010, the time spent on the waiting list could be dramatically reduced with the use of xenotransplantation. And it could give us an unlimited resource of available organ transplants. Also, having a shorter time on the waiting list would mean reducing the cost of treating patients with terminal organ failure. Now you've heard about the benefits, let me educate you on the bright future of xenotransplantation and explain how you can help. The future of xenotransplantation is bright, but has a long way to go. With the medical technology today, doctors and researchers are hard at work, understanding the human immune system better so they can prevent organ rejection between trans-species transplantation. Today, long-term xenografts have achieved success in a number of experiments, and survival rate has increased tenfold from the past years, according to the CDC.gov, June 2001. It is not a question of how, but when xenotransplantation will come to the final clinical stage. In the foreseeable future, XT will be a part of everyone's life, whether you know someone who will get a life-sustaining organ through XT, or you need one yourself. XT will raise the likelihood that that person, whoever they may be, of getting the organ they need to stay alive and live the life they dreamed of. Xenotransplantation is something crucial to invest in, to help those with terminal organ failure. Your help and support is what it will take to reduce the stress and demand on the organ waiting list. Today I have told you about XT and its brief history, and then I told you about its benefits. And last I told you about the bright future of xenotransplantation and how you can support it. When you or a loved one is bedridden and dying from the inside out, waiting for the call that will save your life but may never come, when you have oceans of medical bills to pay and you can't go to work because you're weak and sick all of the time, the only thing you have is hope. Hope that you will live another day, hope that the call will come, and hope that your pain and suffering will be over. Xenotransplantation is that hope. It gives hope back to those who never gotten the call or may have lost their hope. It's easy to lose hope when all the odds are against you. I know that with the impending future of xenotransplantation and your support, we can give back the hope to those who deserve it.